the main question.
I know, right? All right, everybody, welcome to Beyond the Purple Door. I am the Wellness Witch, Nicole Castillo. If you have not yet, please go like and subscribe to YouTube. And I'm really excited about today's show. I'm here with someone that I have very much admired for a very long time. I've known her for about 8 years, and I've had the honor of being able to witness her journey and what she's creating for herself in her life. So I'm very excited to introduce Janis Miller. Janis lives a fulfilling life playing in the mountains of Utah, much like myself, with her daughter, an aspiring doctor on the moon, her husband, an Army medic, one very attentive Rottweiler, and a flock of laying hens. Janis has been everything from an IT geek to a 25-plus year wellness coach and an MLM entrepreneur, which is how we met. From an adaptive recreation manager to a military support liaison, executive assistant, training manager, business strategist, and a beach bum. She is grateful for the winding path that led her back to the gift, passion, and purpose that was always there, Intuitive Astrology. Janis believes that astrology is a tool that can bring awareness to the energies that are divinely and uniquely you. Janis loves when clients connect to their own inner guru, which we're going to talk about what a guru is. Their genuine, unique, real, unapologetic selves and purpose. Her readings and coaching help them to trust their inner wisdom, finding healing, true self-reclamation, and to shine in their true purpose. And you can go and find Janis's website at G.U.R.U.com. Welcome, Janis. We start off Beyond the Purple Door talking about what we're celebrating today, and I am celebrating being here with you. You've been a mentor to me. You've been the military wife who knows the struggles that I've been through. I think my husband had 3 surgeries one year, and you're the only person that called me up and said, "Hey girl, how are you doing? I know what it's like to be married to a veteran, with my husband being a disabled veteran," and just always reminding me to put myself first. And today you are launching your book, the book on transformation.
Yes. It's been a journey, as is life, right? Yes. No, super, super thrilled, but also honored to be part of this project. So it is a full project. It's a collaboration of 30 women telling their stories very vulnerably, very authentically, very inspiring stories of transformation. Those turning points, those moments in their lives that help them to transform. And so, yeah, I wrote a chapter for it.
Yeah, I know that you have witnessed and been you have been causing the matter of transformation in other people's lives, not only in your own. So you go from 25 years plus as a wellness coach, right? And so that is very much helping other people with their transformation. So I would love to hear what inspired you to write the chapter that you wrote about, maybe a little bit about your own transformation.
And so as we've known each other 8 years, and you've seen what I've done for others, it's true. And I really do. I came out of a very traumatic and abusive childhood and home. My childhood was always, my mother was in the military. And so she pursued her career in order to gain her self-esteem, but that left me at the hands of my stepfather. And so I learned some very difficult lessons. And I left also the house as quickly as I could, determined to be a healthy adult, and have a normal life. And so through sheer will, determination, a lot of painful lessons, continued to strive towards that life I thought I could obtain. And I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on personal and professional development. I know you thought, and a lot of people thought, that I stood in a position of leadership and as an example. And
yes,
on the inside, everything was crumbling. I felt fake. I felt an imposter because the shame was cloaking anything from me to think that I deserved it, that I was worthy of it. I was undermining everything in my own mindset without even fully consciously realizing it. I was undermining the love in my relationship and my marriage without realizing it. I was falling apart on how could I be a mother when, I hadn't even figured out my childhood yet. There was just so much that I felt false. And so my transformational turning point, true transformational, I've done a lot, like I said, at work, but my true transformation, I had worked on my mind, I had worked on my body, and what was breaking apart was my soul. Like it was screaming. And so I started turning to other things, some really weird things, like listening to frequencies. This is all weird stuff, but it's stuff that called to me. And I started doing essential oils and it called to me. And I started looking into my own astrology and chart because I'd always kind of geeked out on that. It was kind of fun, but everybody always thought I was kind of weird about it. So I embraced it. And as I was doing that, like I was just being guided, whatever came across my path. I just decided, do I do that or not? And so I was sitting in my backyard up here in the mountains. Thank goodness I don't have many neighbors. And I put on a thing called Lion's Gate meditation on August 8th. I didn't know what that was, but it seemed cool. And it seemed like 8 is a cool number. Like I said, I was just starting to embrace these things, right? And as I listened to that music, and as I just got quiet, the tears, because I don't cry, and I just don't, the tears started streaming down my face, and the sun started to warm my face. And I suddenly just, I don't know, I just felt, and the message that came to me was, I am love, and I deserve love. And I won't have anything but love in my life. So if it's not love, I let it go. That means everything. I could let everything in my life go if it is not love and it's not meant for me. Because I deserve what's meant for me, which is love. Wow. And so now, yeah. So everything changed from there. Like, I don't know. Things started to just lighten up in a way that, I mean, now when I show up and my smile's real, it's genuine. And if it's not smiling, that's genuine too. Like I really, and my husband and I, we've went through that journey together, but it's been a lot of healing of him understanding like some of the things that he was doing, not knowingly, but doing, that was triggering my childhood wounds and that pain and that shame and that insecurity and everything like that. So we've been able to kind of talk those things through and experience those things through. And I can just show up and love and adore him and not worry about whether it's going to be reciprocated, because I'm just love right now. And if it is, it'll come back, because love is love. And that's all there is to it. And it's just made a world of difference. And so that was my transformational moment, is really, I mean, it's messy. Life's still messy and I make mistakes, but I always ask, what's the next loving thing that I can do? And how can I show up?
Yeah. And because I just remember, I do see you as a leader and a rock star, and you are the person that I wanted to be just when they would introduce you to go up on stage to speak, and the things that you have accomplished and the things that you have done in your life. And they have all been for other people. Like when I heard how much money you donated to like the Wounded Warrior Project, like just all of these things that I was like, oh my gosh, Janis. So it's really humbling, I guess, to hear that you didn't feel authentic in that moment, or that you felt like an imposter in that moment. Do you feel like that I'm getting like self-love vibes, right? Because I everything in your your path was about everyone else. And so when did it start being about Janis? And I think I love how it's with the frequencies, because there's science behind that with frequency and vibration. So it's not like this woo-woo crazy.
No, I know, right?
Yeah, it's really not. If you understand the science behind it, like it
was like, they say gateway drugs. It was my gateway drug to the woo-woo, because there was so much science behind it. Like, in my mind, as an IT geek and background like that, I embraced that science first. That's what I could be open to. And now here I am. I'm doing intuitive astrology readings for people. So look at where love leads you. And that's one of the things that when I'm doing my readings, I'm looking not at the personality, and putting a Post-it note in someone's forehead, or creating a horoscope and telling you when to buy your lottery ticket. That's not the way I use the tool. I look at the tool for a couple ways. One, I'm looking for the wounded healer inside of each person, because everyone comes into this life with a wound and a healing journey, right?
I love that.
So that's one of the main things I look for. And then the other part is, what's your soul growth and purpose? We can talk career, or we could talk purpose. We could talk fulfillment.
Oh, I love
even
that.
more, and abundance rather than financial. And, I'll incorporate those things, but the ultimate goal is to illuminate for people that the parts of their personality make them very unique, and make them very on design. They are divinely designed for a purpose and to be here. And they're perfect. With all of that going on, there is a perfection there that was designed for them. And so, and everything that they've encountered, a lot of times when I'm doing readings, a large part of the population of the readings I've been doing have come to me, has been in the LGBTQ plus community. Yes. And seeing those wounds play out in their chart, and being able to show, but look, here's where it's leading you. Here's the purpose. Here's why. Here's how it came to be. You were put here in this position, in this place, so that you can be this. That's how I have finally been able to integrate my childhood in a very real, authentic, loving way, not in a bypassing way, not in a, sheer willpower, I'm going to overcome this, but a true integration of that childhood into my soul.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm thinking of Brandon Hansen. I know that he was in Herbalife way back when you and I were part of that, and he was like, he has the same birthday as my son, and I'm old enough to be his mom. But I know that he has gotten really big into astrology too, and doing some speaking around it. So and he's also part of that community that you shared, the LGBTQ community. So it's just very powerful work with supporting people with healing and feeling like they belong, feeling loved, accepted, understood, all those things that humans, and using astrology as that tool. And
I think that was another thing too, that I kind of had to put that aside, not only because I was weird for being interested in it, but also my childhood being deeply traditional. I was raised Southern Baptist. We went to church 7 times a week. Mm-hmm. When astrology is deemed evil, and now that I can see the divine purpose in every person when I'm looking at a chart, I feel closer to my relationship with that, love, God, source, higher power, whatever it is, than I've ever felt in my whole life. Oh. It has brought that soul connection back into, and now the mind, body, soul, the divine trine is at play. And so when and the awareness that I have about myself, and that I'm able to give people about themselves, gives people the grace and the gratitude. And so grace is an amazing thing. It's a very healing thing. And so if that gift of grace and gratitude for everything that you are and everything you've gone through can be communicated to you in any way, then to me, it, astrology is no different than reading the other ancient teachings, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love the idea of looking at every single person. So with me, it's like I see everyone as my brother or sister. So it's like, of course, like I love people without knowing them because I see them as part of my family, that we're all connected. But how powerful is it for you to look at someone and know that they have a divine purpose? And how powerful would that be for all of us to look at each other as having a divine purpose in the world? And for ourselves, for us to be able to see that. And I can only imagine when you're working with someone and being able to show them that picture and just how, like you said, healing it would be, but also the love then that you can see the pathway for their journey and how it's led them to where they're at, and the pathway to loving themselves.
Well, and I was going to say, here's the little secret about the purpose of life. I heard it from Abraham Hicks, and it's my favorite quote ever. Expansion. And she says, and the interesting part is joyous expansion. But the joyous part is a choice. And so once you can realize with all the gratitude in your heart, everything that's happened to you and everything that you are and where you're headed and every little step of the journey, you have that gratitude, then you can be joyous about it. And you can joyously expand. So even when things go sideways, upways, crumble apart again, now it's more like, this is happening for me. This is so amazing. It really sucks, the emotional part, but I understand in my soul that it's meant for me to do this for a higher reason and a higher purpose, because it's happening for me. And so it really, the astrology has really, after doing so many readings, I just feel like if I needed quantitative proof, the science mind, that everybody is perfect and on purpose.
Oh, I love that. All these gems.
So, yeah, I just, that's what I found, and that's the joy I have. So, and so Guru, you, the way I came up with that is having, like I said, sat at the knees of so many teachers and listened and learned. It was really tapping into my inner guru that guides me and helping people to find that in themselves. Yes,
I do intuitive coaching, helping people tap into their own intuition, because the wisdom's already there within you. It's not anywhere outside. So when people finally get that, it's so amazing, because we're all, like you said, we're all perfect. Everyone is perfect and on purpose.
Yes.
I love that. So tapping into your own guru.
Yep. So that, yep. So, and there's so many ways and so many journeys to finding that. Oops. See, look at that. I put on do not disturb and I still get a call.
It's because people are trying to book readings right now.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm getting also tickers like, oh, because we're doing the launch today. So we're like trying to get to like the best, like at least the top 100 on Amazon today. That would be super, super awesome. So, but we really are. But I think that's the thing too for people is, like you said, if you could just illuminate that for people, that everything that they already know. I also call my readings sometimes a whole lot of duh, because you're going to hear this and you're going to go, duh. And it's like, yeah, because you do know. It's already, it's all there.
Yeah, it's remembering, like you already know. It's just remembering what you already know.
And validating and acknowledging and hearing it from someone else who says, I see you. Do you see you? Because there you are. There you are. You know this.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I have, my next project is going to be Guru-U for a self-guided university, where intuitive guides like yourself, Nicole, show up to help people find that inner guru. So we will be doing that as our next project. So you'll be hearing me about that one.
Yeah, no, you have so many amazing things going on. So you've got the guru.u.com. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that is going to be so knowing my own chart. My north node is what it's called the 11th house, which is the house of friendships, networking, the internet, and greater humanity. And yet it's not about me, the individual, being a leader, because that's in my south node. That's my past life stuff already. So see, when you saw me, you were seeing me live out my
You're
south
like,
nodes.
you're the rock star. You're like, I was like, could not wait to get your autograph every time you spoke. I was like,
oh, thank you. And I loved you too. We were insta love together. You know that. That's why we're still talking here. Yeah. And so G.U.R.U is going to be a platform for guides like yourself who really are here to elevate humanity and help the collective consciousness and for all of us to rise. Yeah. And so it'll be a platform for you guys to contribute and show up for people that people can find. Because the other thing too is like I was finding these spiritual things and clicking on this and YouTube, but I didn't know what I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And I would love it that like there was one place where it was all organized.
yes.
Like, I didn't, what's chakras? I don't know. Let me click on that rather than knowing I need to Google chakras to find out about chakras. There's a place now I can go and I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? And it's kind of like it still be self-guided because again, who's the guru? Who knows what you need? But it's organized in a place, but also it's a place where people like yourself can contribute collectively.
How powerful is that? Well, and I want to talk a little bit about your Facebook group, We Rise, We Roar.
I know it's a mouthful, right?
Yeah, it says the girl that has Beyond the Purple Door, which is also like Purple Door is just after living in Korea for a couple years and listening to Koreans trying to say purple, it always makes me laugh. We Rise, We Roar. And
yes.
You have that group I know because I'm part of it, but for people that maybe are not part of it, how would you invite them to that, or for people to see if that's something that they would be interested in being part of?
It's open. It's totally open. It's the seed of what is to become G.U.R.U, the university. It's just something I pulled together after this transformation and just invited friends, family, anybody who is Facebook friends with me, to just get little drops of joy. Maybe it's something to laugh at. Maybe it's a meme that really makes, hits the heart. But it's also just because laughter raises us up, but also, having that just a little reminder that, yeah, whatever it is. And it depends on what resonates with me, and I'll just plop it in there. And then now some of the other members and some of my other friends and stuff like that are starting to invite others to it. And then they're contributing their whatever hits them in the morning. And so it's just starting to really percolate because I've really started to realize, like, I think people need little reminders of their perfection and joy in their life. And that's all it is.
Yeah, we definitely need more of that. Recognizing, acknowledging people, recognizing and acknowledging ourselves, and then being surrounded by people that are on the same, I guess, kind of the same journey, but it's like we're all working towards self-love. We're all working towards trying to find more joy in our life, more fulfillment, purpose. So it really speaks to my heart. How different would the world be if people could see themselves as divine, loving beings and then see each other as divine, loving beings?
Yeah.
So what chapter book is yours?
So mine is called Transforming into What Was Already There. And then because what I realized is that love was always there. Yeah. So, and so I really, like I said, I think authentically showing up, when you read the book and every woman's journey and story that's in there, the vulnerability, it's very inspiring to be vulnerable ourselves, and that I mean, it's a little intimidating to put your most vulnerable moment in a book for all of time and have it distributed. But it allows for us to not care about the judgment so much more than just, being true to ourselves. And so every chapter in here is just, there's just so many stories. It's just inspiring. But I think the other thing for me when I wrote it is, this is the quote I used: "Only the truth of who you are, if realized, will set you free." Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is like amazing. But that was the thing too, is I felt so free by being like truly vulnerable, truly me. And yeah, rather than fearful.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that has been very recent in my journey. I feel like the older I get, the less I care what other people think, Like I'm just like, oh, I cared about that. I don't anymore. I'm too old. I'm too old to care. I'm too old to give a shit. Like, I just noticed, and I've noticed that about the women the divine, beautiful women that I'm around too. It's like, as you get older, other people's opinions matter less and less, and you just you don't care as much. And being vulnerable, it is a very unique space where people can connect to you in a way that maybe they couldn't before. Because the stuff that you've shared with me, it's like you've seen me in mine and you've called and been like, hey girl, and then I can vulnerably share more with you. But it's like we have more of a connection because of the fact that we've been able to be vulnerable with each other, because then I'm not feeling so alone, or like nobody will understand what I've been through, or, it's just been, being vulnerable has opened up a lot of doors.
It is.
A connection.
And being vulnerable with ourselves, really, like, I think one of the hardest things too is like sitting with yourself and recognizing and being able to, like, you want to let anyone else talk to you the way that you do. Mm-hmm. And that, like, when the tears rise up, that it's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's, we're trying to teach our children that feelings are okay and to be themselves, it's what they do with them. Right. I don't know about you, Nicole, but I don't think our generation was taught to be okay with all of our mess and all of our feelings and all of our ick and everything like that. And that's where I feel like the mask was so intact, not only from my childhood, but just in general in life, is like soldier on, smile through, you know what I mean? And so when you have someone you can talk to and be vulnerable with, yes, but also give yourself the space and time to sit with yourself and truly be in touch and vulnerable with yourself is a huge gift.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Because I didn't like acknowledging that life was fake for me. The fake it till you make it mantra, right?
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't
work.
In my life too, it doesn't work out so well.
Right?
Yeah, it just doesn't. So I love that, being vulnerable with yourself, being vulnerable with others. I'm really excited to read the book. And you said something about Amazon. So how can people find your book?
So it is on Amazon today, isn't it? It's purple, by the way.
I know, I love it. It matches really well.
It's really purple.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and it's right on Amazon. You just type in the book on transformation. And so you're looking for the purple cover. And it's got a great forward in there. And Jan Frazier, the woman who organized and brought these beautiful women together, is a complete love bug. She's amazing too. And so, yeah, and we're going for today. Like I said, we're trying to trend. So if you feel called, it would be beautiful if you, even if the Kindle works, the paperback works, it all counts towards the trending. But a Kindle is like $1.99, I think, and the paperback's $14.95. And so if we can get as many people purchasing today, that would be super exciting.
Yeah, top 100.
Top 100. Yep.
Yeah, we're declaring that here.
Yeah, we're going for top 100. And and also just to get, I think, the stories and the message out to as many people as possible is the ultimate goal. So if it doesn't happen for today or for you today, then it's great too. But when you feel called, I hope that at least one of the stories resonates with someone, and has that heart touch and expansion for them.
Oh, yes, heart touch and expansion. Loving it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. I know how busy you are with everything that you're up to. So I just really want to acknowledge you and appreciate you for being here and spending this time with me. And I'm probably going to be checking in to see where you're at with trending. And I'm going to go on right now and get my book ordered. So I love supporting my boss babes. And my friend Nikki Ann, I've got her bath, like from North Star Essentials. I've got her Goddess Bath blend. Like I just love supporting my boss babes. So Shauna Lee, she maybe was part of that same MLM. She came over and did a ritual Reiki. Yeah. And this was one of the things that she gave me from that healing session. So just so many phenomenal boss babes that I love to support. So I'm going to go on and order your book, and maybe we can do this again in the future and talk a little bit more about what it is that you do and how you're changing humanity. So thank you so much.
I love you.
I love you. Hey guys, we will see you next time on Beyond the Purple Door. The tools, the support, the accountability that you need lie behind the purple door. Walk through the damn door. Love you guys. Bye.